I fell in love with people collecting wine when I was 17 because I was into collecting sports cards. That was my connection point. I wanted collecting. I wanted to build 4,000 wine shops. I was going to build a Toys R Us of wine, sell the franchise, buy the New York Jets. That's what the plan was. Heard the internet my freshman year of college, heard that sound, knew that it was special, and in 1996 I launched one of the first e-commerce wine businesses in America called WineLibrary.com. Took over my dad's business, kind of running it day to day in 1998 alongside with him, and from 98 to 2003, helped grow that business from a $3 to a $60 million business. That became the foundation. Built that on e-commerce, email marketing, banner advertising, Google AdWords, things that the marketing world didn't believe yet. And then YouTube came out. And I started a wine show 4 months after YouTube started. And
you are not a wine expert, though.
I grew up a wine expert. From 15 to 30, in those 15 years, my whole life was wine.
Were you always successful?
In everything but school.
Didn't do well in school?
Poor. Terrible, actually. Punted it. It was funny. And this is where I give my parents enormous credit. And it's funny, it's a business book that says self-awareness. My parents grew up, and I give them so much credit, in a world where all their contemporaries, and you know this, education's the way out for immigrants.
Sure is.
My mom recognized that I was a merchant, an entrepreneur, a promoter.
So did school fail you, or you failed school?
School failed me. School's failing entrepreneurs every single day.
Because?
Because it's not built for entrepreneurship. It's built for workers. If you're being taught to play within the lines, and there's nothing being taught that maps to the entrepreneurial market. As a matter of fact, my biggest cynicism when I sit across an entrepreneur today is if they are too successful at school. I probably look at Ivy League grads starting startups right now with more of a negative light than I do somebody who wasn't as good. Because what I've learned over the last 5 to 7 years, and by the way, in the last 2 or 3 years, I've taken a step back on this because there's too many entrepreneurial friends who've gone to great schools that have been successful. So this is not a blanket statement, but I will tell you that in a world of private schools, in a world of mommy and daddy having a lot of connections, that when you go from 12, 15, 18 years of that ecosystem and you go into a market and you create an app, the market doesn't give a crap who your dad is. The market responds to your product, and a lot of these kids have not been able to take the punch in the mouth that comes along with entrepreneurship.
You're big on self-awareness, right?
Huge.
How does one get to be self-aware?
I don't know.
So how do you teach it?
I don't know, but I know it's damn important. And so I know where I start and where I stop, Larry, and I wish, honestly, I'm curious to see over the next 40, 50 years of my career if I figure it out. I think that the things that I've been pushing people to do is, one, create an ecosystem where you make the people closest to you feel comfortable to tell you the truth. So one of the things I've been asking for people to do is tell your mom and dad and spouse, best friend, coworker, hey, tell me the truth. What am I good at? What am I bad at? And spend a month or two to get them comfortable to actually tell you the truth, because the people that love you sure don't want to tell you.
How did the website thing come about?
Way back when?
I mean, your web show.
Or the web show now.
The biggest thing you do is your web show?
The biggest thing I do right now is I run a 650-person social media digital agency that works with the brands like Toyota and Pepsi, and that's called VaynerMedia.
And what does VaynerMedia do?
We're a modern-day Mad Men. We're a Madison Avenue agency. The same people that used to sell commercial time on anything you ever did in radio and television, we now do that on Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, and we produce the creative for the brands to sell stuff through the phone. Because Larry, and I'd love to get, I'd almost want to, I know we're doing a show here, but I'd love to get your thoughts maybe after, maybe right now, who knows. I think we're living through a very interesting moment. I believe that the telephone is becoming the television, and the television is becoming the radio. And I've been spending a lot of time studying the transition in the late 50s from radio to television, because this is the first time we've had a platform shift in our society in a half a century, and I think it's a very big deal. And I've been spending an enormous amount of time, the last 5 years, trying to be the best storyteller for that platform.
Next, utilizing the digital world for your entrepreneurial benefit, how social media can transform.